Until Excel 2013, there wasn't a very easy way to display the current formula within a cell. I mean, you can go to the cell, taking our mortgage function sheet, for example, open up the cell and you can see the formula. But what about, I want to keep the result on the screen and see what formula's in there? Well, I can look there at the same time, but it would be nice just to have the formula perhaps displayed here. Well, previously you would have had to go in, copy the formula, come into the next cell, put a single apostrophe so that it doesn't try and evaluate the formula, equals, and paste the formula in there, and that would work. However, if you went back then to this formula and made a change, for example, we might decide to take the years and multiply them by 52 and divide the interest rate by 52 so that we're working on weekly payments, then that would work out the value, 539 per week. However, as you can see, if we look, this has not replicated itself in the change in our formula underneath, because that was a copy and paste at that moment in time. So if we undo to put this back, what we really needed, and Excel have been so nice as to provide, is a formula that displays a formula. That formula is called FORMULATEXT. It equals FORMULATEXT, open brackets, show me that cell there, return, and it then shows me the formula currently being used in that cell. So if I then go back in and make that change to 52, because I'm now looking at weekly payments instead of monthly, the FORMULATEXT formula updates itself and then shows me that I'm now looking at 52 rather than 12. So that's a clever brand new formula called FORMULATEXT, and it works perfectly. Let's use it on this cell here. That's a formula, equals FORMULATEXT, open brackets, look at that cell there please, and it returns the VLOOKUP formula that's currently happening here and in place. If I then make a change to this formula, perhaps something as simple as just fixing the array of the table, then I see that change here in the formula text field, because it's physically telling me the formula that's being used there. It has one slight drawback though. If we try and use the formula text formula on a cell that actually does not contain a formula, then we get one of Excel's little error messages, n/a. So we need to negate that. So for tidiness sake, we will make use of another new formula. So equals if is formula. So I physically go and check whether that cell is a formula or not. If it is, then I actually use the formula text function. If not, well, let's just output a little minus sign so we know that something is happening. Return, and there you see I get the little minus sign. If I then replicate this up to there, it then works. So it's checking to see if that cell there contains a formula. If it does, then that is formula function will return true, therefore dropping me into the first part of the if statement where it can carry out the formula text formula, thus showing me the actual formula being used. If it's false, it comes out and gives me a little minus sign. In the second sample there where we're looking at 25, which is a static value, not a formula, it returns me a little hyphen. So you can use those in combination with each other for troubleshooting really. If someone actually overwrites one of your formulas, this little formula that's checking to see if it is a formula will then not display the formula, but it will display a little hyphen. Or potentially you could go much further and get it to display a generic error message, such as missing formula, what have you been doing? So that's two new formulas. Formula text to display the formula, and it's dynamic, so if the formula changes, the display of that formula will change. Absolutely fantastic new formula. And then use that in conjunction with is formula to actually check whether the cell you're trying to look at the formula for contains a formula.